Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 1 of Ball Sports with Matt. That's me. I'm Matt. New show here with me. I'm excited, really excited about it as we get into. We're here the first week of football. My goodness. It's always like when the first week of football happens, and yeah, we don't have NFL this week, and we'll get into all that. The first week of college football. But this week is even though this year I feel a certain type of way about another ball sport. We'll get into that as well. But before we do, if you're listening to us via the podcast or wherever you are, the best way you can find everything that we do here is at e5280sports.com. Blogs, articles, podcasts like this one, live shows, video content. We got pickleball, for God's sakes. One of my favorite blogs is the pickleball blog that we have by Erin Purple. She's awesome, tremendous, great. I love it, everything about it. And that's where you can find us, e5280sports.com. Sports and lifestyle is how we get down here. And if you do listen to us via the podcasts, if it's Spotify, iTunes, wherever it is, please leave us a rating or a review. If you like it, feel free to subscribe as well. Hell, might as well do that too. If you want to follow me, you could do that on X, formerly known as Twitter. You could go on there, find me there. I'm at Matt Mascarenas, Matt Mascarenas 1. If you want to get in there and talk some smack or have some fun with me. I like to have fun. I don't take X seriously, okay? I don't take it seriously. If you want to follow the show, the station, Elevation 5280 Sports Radio is where you can find that as well. Don't forget to look for us on YouTube, video contents. All the live shows that we go out will go out there. Well, like I was saying before, we made it. We made it, folks. We are right ahead. I mean, Saturday, September, what day is that? I want to say that's September 2nd. Again, too, if you're new to the show, this is a new show, so everybody's new to it. Even if you've listened to me or Michael or other people out here, or other people on the show, other people on the shows. We're a lot of, especially Mike and I. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but especially Mike and I. We're all reaction, very little research. So that even bleeds into knowing what day it is half the time. Yeah, it's Saturday, September 2nd, right? It's Labor Day weekend. Almost called it Memorial. Not Memorial. Definitely not Memorial Day. Labor Day weekend is kind of the calm before the storm. Yes, in my opinion, it's the greatest weekend because we got kickoff of college football. If you're local here, which I am here in Denver, Colorado, I know we have people that listen to us and follow us from all over the country. Dare I say world in some cases, but definitely all over the country. So if you're here locally in the state of Colorado, the nation is got a big spotlight on us, especially if you're a CU fan in the Colorado Buffaloes. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. We're going back to the Big 12. I say we are because in this case, I am a alum by marriage. I spent the majority of my 20s with my wife up at CU in some way, shape, or form. So I do feel like an alum. I do. But I first and foremost am a fan of Colorado Buffaloes. But we will get into more of that later on in the week. Today, I have there's just a couple things that it just really got me going this past weekend. And there's I don't like to complain and whine a lot, but there's a lot of things that pop up and that just make me scratch my head and just make me go crazy. And they want to get my take on it. In the grand scheme of things, who cares, right? Who cares what a 40-year-old house dad, coach, official thinks about anything, right? Who cares? Trey Lance was traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th-round pick, and that's it. It's 4th-round pick. Goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you're not familiar with the Trey Lance situation, let's just start where the San Francisco 49ers traded, well, I think it was like 4 first-round draft picks and others. They traded a lot to get into the 3rd pick of the 2021 draft and to take this guy. There was controversy surrounding this guy, and not the person or the player, but the surrounding the situation, more or less. John Lynch, who was the GM for the San Francisco 49ers, he wanted to draft this guy, Trey Lance. This was what the controversy was. And they were saying that this was smoke screens, which it could have been. But if you know anything about John Lynch and Shanahan, and because they spent a lot of time here in Denver, the Shanahans in general, Mike Shanahan's still kind of around here. That I really feel like you can get a sense of what kind of player, what kind of quarterback, what kind of things that the Shanahans in particular like and want. It was said during the draft that Kyle Shanahan wanted a smart player. He wanted somebody who can understand that offense, because the way that I have seen and when I've listened, read, whatever I can consume, to when you hear people talk about the Shanahan system, and there's all kinds of fingers of the Shanahan system. The coaching tree, just there's leaves that kind of go everywhere, and they're all over the NFL right now, and they're in head coaching positions in the NFL. They their offense is worded, very worded, very, I wouldn't say complex, because I don't know that. I've never experienced it. I've never been in that offense. But worded is what I would say. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of terminology. There's a lot of things that go into a play call. So if that's the case, the Shanahans, in my opinion, would love and want more of a quarterback that is smart and can put all that into a play and can put all that together without issue. Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. Now, you could say this was smoke screens and all that stuff. It's been debunked or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just going off of what I remember. He wanted Mac Jones. He was smart, Alabama guy, Nick Saban system. Smart guy, right? So they draft Trey Lance, who was looked to and maybe thought of in a lot of ways. And this kid hasn't played football. This is at the draft now since 2019 because of the COVID year. I mean, COVID was still around, and then you had the COVID seasons in 2020 and 2021. You know, things were starting to kind of get back to some sense of normalcy. He played for North Dakota State, and the book on him, to steal phrases from everybody that ever said anything about drafts ever, the book on him is he was comparable to Pat Mahomes. He's got the legs, he's got the playmaking ability, the ability to make plays out of nothing, the ability to move around. He had a live arm, another camp or a scouting combine term. He's got a live arm on him. Really whip that thing out there. But smart, experienced, wasn't really any of them. Wasn't really up there, you know? Athleticism was mainly the thing. But the thing was that he could do the things that Pat Mahomes does. And with Pat Mahomes, especially at that time and even now, being arguably or just flat out is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Now it's a little when you look at the situation of Trey Lance, the 49ers weren't, I don't think, looking at it as we're going to play this guy as soon as possible. They still had Jimmy G. They maybe I don't know how many years they were looking to develop this kid, 2, 3 seasons, I don't know. But that was pushed forward as you saw last season when he was the guy. Jimmy was done. Jimmy was hurt too, you know. You know, that's the guy that sidelined Jimmy. Um, he was hurt, and there was a lot of you had what Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard playing in the year before, the season before that. Like that was the year that they were like pretty much everybody was just destroyed by injury, that COVID season. So going into last year, Trey Lance is a starter. He's the man. Goes in. Was it the first preseason game? It was maybe it was the last preseason game. Breaks his finger. Boom, he's out. Or he's not healthy. He's not 100%. Comes back, right? Or I'm sorry. I don't even think he did. I think he still played. I still like he still played. Because he had that junker in Chicago, fumbles a football. On like it was the last, I'm trying to remember, it was the last play, but it was a monsoon, it was raining, but you know, loses. And everybody was looking at the 49ers like, oh my gosh, this guy's not, this guy ain't the guy, right? This guy's not the guy. And then you go more into the season, you know, it kind of picks up, kind of starts playing to kind of where you would hope he would be. And then shatters his ankle, breaks his ankle, done for the season. Bad luck, right? All right. The 49ers go on this absolute, I wouldn't say tear, but they go on a run. They even make a trade for Christian McCaffrey, who before that they were using that Debo Samuel's in that kind of role. Now you got McCaffrey, still have Debo, who was kind of a little banged up last year, wasn't 100% healthy. But the 49ers got to the NFC Championship game with the combination of Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy, who came out of nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant, right? Comes out of nowhere. Doesn't even show any of those signs at Iowa State. Nothing. But all of a sudden, this guy can play. This guy's a player. This guy's a quarterback of the future for the 49ers. And then they all the quarterbacks get hurt, and you got Josh Johnson, was it Josh Johnson? No, was it Josh Freeman? Ah, heck. Again, all reaction, no research. He played here. He was playing here for Denver. And then so they lose the NFC Championship game. So blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to this year. Trey Lance is not having a good season. Not progressing the way the 49ers would hope for. We're hoping after the shattered ankle, after the broken ankle. He's not making the steps. He doesn't look good in preseason. Gets beat out for the second quarterback spot by Sam Darnold. Demands a trade. Doesn't show up for practice, asks for a trade. Now, this is where up until this point, it was just bad luck, unfortunate, bad luck, until they gave him that third quarterback spot, said Sam Darnold's going to be the backup. Brock Purdy's going to be the starter, and you're going to be the third quarterback. Ask for a trade, doesn't show up to practice. Now, this is where the Trey Lance, for me, he lost me. I was rooting for him all the way up until then. From his perspective, he has the best position. I mean, you have to think about it from the perspective of you were hurt. You broke your ankle. You had your finger. Just get healthy, get better. Then your third quarterback, okay, I got to get better. Where does the I got to get better in this situation mindset or flip in the mind come? When does it come? Where does it come from? Who can put that into this kind of player's head? This is the best situation. Being on the San Francisco 49ers team is the best situation for him, his career, and his development. Unless the 49ers just straight up told him, you better ask for I doubt that they did that. I doubt they did that because he asked for a trade. I don't think they wanted to trade him. He's the one that came and asked for it, doesn't show up to practice. And in my opinion, the Shanahans don't mess with that, right? Kyle's not going to mess with that. If you don't show up to practice because you got demoted or you didn't win your job, that to me that's a bad look. I don't know what advice this guy was giving. I don't know who told him to do that, but that's bad look. All you had to do was show up to practice, get better. You're in a system where you have probably the best offense in the NFL right now. One of the best offensive minds in the NFL. You have a franchise that invested so much in draft capital. Yeah, I know people are saying F them picks now. Nowadays, that's the hot thing, cool thing to say, F them picks. Those picks don't matter. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand where that's all coming from. Because you got Sean McVay, sorry. I'm saying Todd McShay. Or Todd McVay with the Los Angeles Rams that proved you can win a Super Bowl with that mentality when he traded for Matt Stafford. Demands a trade. Trey Lance demands / ask for a trade. When you ask for a trade, you're basically demanding a trade, right? Like, hey, if it's all right, guys, could you maybe trade me? Can I get a trade? Oh, no. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't even say anything. Sorry, I even brought it up. It's always a demand. Hey, I want to be traded. Can you guys trade me? I want to be traded. That's a demand. To me, that's a demand. The Dallas Cowboys, who I thought were a team that could make a play and go after him. They go after him. Dropped a fourth rounder on him. They basically say goodbye to Will Grier, who then goes out that Saturday night, this past weekend, that Saturday night, and throws like 4 touchdowns, to almost 300 yards. Just goes out of his mind, right? Will Grier. He's gone. They already told him, we're going to cut you. Dak Prescott, today, I didn't know about it. He felt like it looked like he was blindsided by it. Blindsided. Does Mike McCarthy want to have this guy on the team? Like, what does this do right now for the Dallas Cowboys? You get an undeveloped, injured quarterback, guy who just broke his ankle last season. That's what you got. You spend a 4th rounder on him. Okay. Your team is in a position where they could do that, I think. I think the Dallas Cowboys roster as a whole is pretty darn good. And they are in a position where they can say, F them picks. They can say that, I guess. But what happens now? How you got Cooper Rush sitting right there. Cooper Rush could make himself a lot of money with those past games that he's played, those past 2, or when he came in for hurt, injured Dak Prescott, who's, if you know anything about Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott, that he's going to get hurt. He's going to get injured, right? He's going to be down. You're going to have the game where you have to fill in for him. Cooper Rush did pretty damn well. Are you going to pay Trey Lance? This year he's scheduled to make $900,000, and next year I think that goes up to almost $4,000. I think that's what I was looking at. They with the money breakdown. Are you setting and who's going to develop this guy? Like, when are you going to develop him? Where are these reps going to come from? Is it going to be off-site, or is it going to be extra work that he comes in and gets? Because training camp preseason's over. How many reps does the third guy get in camp? How many reps does a backup guy get in camp? Is he going to be a practice? Is he going to run the practice squad team? How's he going to get better? When Mike McCarthy is, in my opinion, literally coaching for his job, he doesn't have any interest in developing a guy. And then what happens when, like I said, DRP gets hurt, goes down, Cooper Rush comes in, Cooper Rush looks like crap, has a bad game, has a bad series. Is Trey Lance even going to be dressed? Is he even going to be on the sidelines? Because that's another thing you got to think about too. Now, I mean, were you going to keep? You could have kept Will Grier. I don't know what his practice squad eligibility is. Again, all research or no reaction, no research, all reaction. Again, I don't know what his practice squad eligibility was, but is Trey Lance going to be okay with that? Like, was he going to is Will Grier? I'm sure Will Grier would have been okay with that. I'm sure everything about Will Grier is screams practice squad at this point, right? Is Trey Lance is he gonna be okay with that when he just asked for a trade and didn't show up to practice when he was placed in the third quarterback role? He's coming here with the Cowboys. He's gonna be a third. He's gonna be a third back. He's gonna be a backup there, or a third quarterback there, backup to the backup, assistant to the assistant regional manager, however you want to put it. He's not gonna be the guy. He still needs time to develop. How's he going to do that? Is he going to do it on his own, in his own time, or extra time, extra workouts? How does that work? How many reps do the backups get, the backup quarterbacks get in any practice? If you're talking about Peyton Manning, these top guys, Aaron Rodgers, Joe, maybe not Aaron Rodgers, but he probably likes to, go slap Zachy on his butt. Say, hey, go get in there, get a couple reps, kid. I'm gonna sit over here and drink some Gatorade. He might do that, but Peyton Manning damn sure wasn't giving up reps. He wouldn't even let Brock Osweiler go in and kneel. He had to go get that rep. I don't know if Dak's like that. I don't know if that situation is to be like that there in Dallas, but you expect Mike McCarthy, who I, like I said, being a Packer fan, if you don't know that already, if you're new to the show, I'm a Packer fan. Long story, I'll get into it sometime. I'm still a Denver Bronco fan, hometown team, root for the hometown team for sure. It's just crazy to me. And then you had the locals, the local yahoos around here. I don't know I don't know what to call them. I don't want to be mean or nothing, but when you come up with these takes like this, to me, it questions your credibility and questions you look like a yahoo. You look like one of those guys that anytime a player becomes available, you want him on your team. Why didn't the Broncos do this? They're dumb to not do this, to not even think about a fourth rounder to get this. They're not thinking about everything that move you make. It's not a guy you bring in and it's not a fourth round pick. We'll just put him over there and see what happens. No, you're going to have to do something with him. He's going to be sitting over there as a former third round pick that was 2 seasons ago. It's not that far away if you think about it. Who's got a broken ankle, who had a broken ankle, I should say, who just quit essentially on this last team because he was a third string quarterback. You have a plan in Jared Stidham, who looked pretty damn good Saturday night. You have a plan in Jared Stidham because you gave him a lot of money. You got DiNucci, okay. DiNucci, and if you look at what Dallas is paying Trey Lance now, DiNucci and Trey Lance are making about the same. I don't know if that's what the Broncos would have paid. I don't know if they could have. I don't know. I don't know what kind of if DiNucci has a cap hit. I don't know how that works. Again, reaction, baby, reaction. And it was crazy because these were guys. Well, most of them are internet bloggers, podcasters, and what they do is they regurgitate things that they heard people that they want to be like, They basically do their own version of whatever else is out there. Going crazy. All of them are crazy. Local radio fun time guys. You know, beep beep, honk your horn. You know, just very frustrating. Very frustrating. Drove me crazy. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but it was because it was like these guys don't see the big picture. They just see somebody that was drafted third overall because of the evaluation of him. And there was people, look, there was a lot of people that said this guy was raw. Sure, the talent below the shoulders is there, but there was never anything for above the shoulders. And if you don't know what that means, the head. So I lost a lot of a lot of people around here for me lost a lot of credibility. Not that they care, never really followed them anyway, but I did look in to see like I always say, and you'll hear me say this a lot. When you follow local people that cover the team, people that cover the sport locally, wherever you are, here in Denver, North Carolina, Texas, wherever you are, understand what you're following. Try to understand who these people are and what their job is. For me, I follow certain people because they give good, credible news and updates, team updates, whether it's injuries, whether it's movement here and there, blah blah blah. I follow certain, and there's two. It's two for that. I follow some people for entertainment because it's funny. Their takes are silly. Their takes are, I don't take them seriously, but they do say some funny stuff and they do say some things like, you know what, I agree with that. Entertainment. I either want to learn something, the two that I follow that give me the info for the who's in, who's out, who's hurt, contracts, blah blah blah, and then I follow the people that I want to be entertained. I want to laugh. I want to enjoy it. Even sometimes I want to even get frustrated. I want to see how this guy's going to piss me off today. That's how you follow these people. One thing you don't do is follow them for their ball knowledge. Oh my God, because it's not there outside of a couple. And you can get into the former athletes that do this stuff too. Those people, those guys, they're good for the stories. They're good for the experience knowledge when they there's a situation that comes up and then they relate their experience in the same. So I love those guys. Those guys are good, but at the same time, they say a lot of dumb stuff too. Because just because you played doesn't mean you know everything. So again, I'll always tell you, I'll always say, just understand and know what a lot of these people are pushing and what they're doing. Don't get too caught up and think that what they say is the gospel and that's that because they think it is. Oh, I get into it with these guys, with these people. It's mostly guys. The women in this town are great. Top freaking notch. Like they're top freak. We got some of the best. We got some of the best. We're spoiled. But the dudes, man, thirsty. They're thirsty. But they were going off. And even today, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny today. I was listening to some of the local or the nationals, watching some of the national stuff, and they were right out. I was like, oh, that's right there with where I'm at. That's how that's exactly what I was saying. I do that a lot. So it's very, very interesting to me how you can take what one team does, a very, very successful team in the San Francisco 49ers, how they treat a situation, how they treat a player. They invested a lot of draft capital into this young man. You would say a lot of time. You would say a lot of effort. Kyle Shanahan even came out and said he feels like he failed him. He feels like he let him down. But then at the same time, he gets into some situations where you can tell he doesn't necessarily throw him under the bus, doesn't necessarily point fingers or elegant or say things about it, but he does say he does mention that the offense is complicated. The offense that like there's ways that he said it where it was like, okay, you can kind of get that this guy wasn't picking it up here above the shoulders. He wasn't getting it up there. But I think that the final straw, the last deal was when he doesn't show up and he asked for a trade. To me, as is in that situation, that would, yeah, all right, we'll get you out of here. You don't want to show up for work. You don't want to come in here and get better with us. We invested all this in you. You don't want to get better with us. All right, we'll get you out of here. Again, that's just what it looks like looking out here from my perspective of eating bonbons and sitting on the couch. Okay, doing folding laundry, eating bonbons, sitting on the couch like Peggy Bundy. That's what it looks like from here. And I think it's funny that there were so many people around here, and they do this a lot, that if somebody's available or gonna be, they did it with Jonathan Taylor. Get him, go trade for him. What the hell are you gonna trade for the guy? What are you gonna trade for him? And how much are you gonna pay him? The man wants to be paid. That's why he wants to be traded. He wants to be paid. What are you gonna pay him? It's not my money. It's not my money, but where's the money? There's no money. Not right now. Not money for a running back. So it's a funny situation, but it brings us, it was, to me, it was the biggest story over the weekend. I know Aaron Rodgers, my ex, um, had a great, I don't know if he had a great game, but he played in a preseason game, which he never did that with us. He never played in preseason games with us. He just always said, I never played with us. But it is what it is. Yeah, I hope he's happy. I hope he's happy. I really do. But that's going to do it for today's show. Uh, More on Wednesday. We're going to get into more of the NFL. I'm going to take a look around. I think we're going to start in the AFC. I'm going to give my predictions on who's going to win each division. I'm not going to do Super Bowl picks yet or nothing like that because that's a little too early in my opinion. I still got to really see it look like, but I could do gut fillings. I could do gut filling picks. I'll get into that, and then we'll look at college football. College football will be heavy on Friday. I'm looking to do this show like I plan to do other shows every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Friday, I'm looking at being a loaded college football day, all college football, as we look into uh, again CU, TSU, TCU, CU, TSU, TCU. Kickoff on Saturday. A lot of people are going to be looking at that, as will I. We'll get into that plus more college football. But that'll do it for today. Again, I am Matt Mascarenas. This is the first episode of Ball Sports with Matt. Again, if you want to get at us, follow us at, or go check out the website, I should say, e5280sports.com. A lot of stuff there. Podcasts, blogs, articles. If you want to follow me on Twitter or X, you could do that at Matt Mascarenas1. And then you can follow the show at Elevation Sports Radio or E5280 Sports Radio on X as well. Don't forget, we have a YouTube channel at the same name and all that good stuff. If you like the podcast, please feel free to leave us a review and subscribe. That would be awesome. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you for joining me on this glorious Monday afternoon. I had to say that. I didn't have to, but I had to. There it is, there it was, and there it shall be. Good night now. Have a good day.